Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video. I hope you're all doing well. In this video we're going to be breaking down the third and final part of our Clue mix. We're going to go into finalizing the hooks, the ad-libs, the stabs, any of the extra stuff to add the glisten and the body to the track. We're also going to go into doing some cool little edits, chops, stutters, things that you can add into like a hip hop or a drill or any kind of record to, like, you know, spice it up a little bit, bring something new to the table without like going too mad into the production of it. And then lastly, we're going to finalize the track and get it ready and prepare it for master, and making sure that when you send it to the mastering engineer, or if you're going to master it yourself, you're not going to run into any issues that you need to then revert back to the mixer and fix. Hope you enjoy the video. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you liked it, please like the video. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments, or you can find me on Instagram at MixedByJocelyn, or on Twitch, MixedByJocelyn, and you can leave me in the DMs or any comments there. Have a great day. Enjoy the video. Safe. Right. Hello, everyone that's here. So where we were yesterday, let me know if everyone can like hear me okay and if the stream quality is good. The feedback really helps, like obviously with the live, just making sure everyone's enjoying it. Let me put this on silent. So where we got last time, in the last couple of videos, so we finished mixing the instrumental. We listen to this now. But obviously, as we said, like, you know, we start tweaking it a little bit, like as we're mixing in the vocals and stuff like that as well. So it's always kind of like we've got the basic there, and like it sounds good, and like out on its own it sounds great. But like as we blend in vocals, we tend to change things, boost things, and, you know, create if we need to create more space. But then yeah, in the last stream on Thursday, we went into the vocals. So
facts.
This
Don't
is where we
confuse
got.
it. Man talk streets then rap. Looking real stupid. How come you never had man's back? Making excuses. I got mine off muscle and packs. The gang been doing up laps. I never gave man a round of applause, but I
my
gave
guy.
man pats on that back.
It's been a minute.
Them man just heavy with chat. I am not man's age, I'm a dad's. I can't wait till I get man back. I used to.
Yeah, if you're in the chat, say hi. You know, I want to get this talking, and if you have any questions, just put them in the chat. I'm constantly looking at the chat, so yeah, it'd be good to keep it moving. So in the last one, just going back to it, we covered kind of like what the process was that I was how I was approaching like this grime record, and a few of like the more interesting points that we did with this was a technique we did to create width was I think it was this delay. Yeah, we used no, it wasn't this delay, I do apologize, it was this one. We grabbed this delay here and we put like a really high ratio, and we lowered the feedback and put a ping pong effect on it, just to kind of like flutter the vocal a little bit from left and right to create a little bit more space in the vocal. We went over a little bit of my compression techniques, what channel strips I use, saturation, de-essing, how we use like subtractive EQs before we use subtractive EQs, if you like. And yeah, that was kind of like the gist of it. So we really went into detail in the last episode about like the main vocals, and then we did some cool effects with the ad.
Put man
as well.
at you in camps. Man did voluntary and try act bad. God, man, that gets man mad. I was on demon time in detention. Wicked.
So if you listen to that ad lib, it's got like a really nice like 1/4 ping pong delay, flutters around, things like that really enhance the tune. They take it from, you know, just like a kind of nice clean sounding mix to something a bit more exciting. And it's always good to like have a few of these techniques in your kind of like toolbox, because, you know, using the same one every time just gets boring, and like it can like really make the client go like, wow, do you know what I mean? Because a lot of the time they might not understand all of the work that you've put into creating and sculpting these perfect sounding vocals and instrumentals, but those little kind of like I like to call it fairy dust that you add onto the back end of a record can like make and break it. So it's something definitely to not ignore.
From the what did I mention? Big bigger and bad. Free up the G's in the block doing sentence. Man, get a man grab.
Right, so anyway, let's focus on the hook though. So kind of like cheat code here, we're going to copy and paste this vocal and we're going to use that as our foundation to start with the hook. So I've already listened to it, so I know this is going to work, but I would suggest like obviously bringing the vocal up and just checking like it's the same style or whatever. But we play this.
I know killers and gliders. Man, do it in sliders. Put him on the screen like flyers. I'm out here, I still need drivers. Man, spread for your town like virus. Miley Cyrus. 50s, 20s and 10s. Trying to make amends, but I swear I hate fivers. Why is man talking about trap? You made your money off me.
Okay, so straight away, to me, like that sounds good, right? And nothing was wrong with the vocal. So I'm like, right, cool. We've kind of hit the nail on the head with the channel strip. We're dealing with this very similar vocal, very similar pronunciation, and the way that he's like delivered it. So, and obviously it was recorded on the same day, in the same room, on the same microphone. So we ain't going to have to change nothing. If the artist has, for whatever reason, changed the day that he's recorded or the microphone or whatever, then we might run into some issues and we might have to change certain things. But I can tell here that this hasn't. So the only thing that I want to do is just to create subtle differences to separate it from the rest of the song. And most of the time, you know, with a hook, you just want to make it sound a little bit wider, and a little bit more space. So then when the verse comes in, it's very narrow and it feels a lot more direct and a little bit more controlled. So let's have a listen here and see what we can do.
I know killers and gliders. Man, do it in sliders. Put him on the screen like flyers. I'm out here, I still need drivers. Man, spread for your town like virus. Miley.
But with this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread it a little bit. So I'm going to put an EQ at the bottom here. And I'm going to use a trick that we used on the instrumental on last Tuesday, but to spread the vocal a little bit and make it a bit wider in comparison to the verse. So then, as I said, when the verse comes in, it sounds narrow and like more direct. So here we're going to go straight to mid side. I'm going to listen to the vocal, pull it up.
I know killers and gliders. Man, do it in sliders. Put him on the screen like flyers. I'm out here, I still need drivers. Man,
stereo, so the sides, and I'm going to push up the sides. Going to get a nice wide band.
Trying to make amends, but I swear I hate fivers. Why is man talking about trap? You made your money off music. Let's get straight to the. I know killers and gliders. Man, do it in sliders. Put him on the screen like flyers. I'm out here, I still need drivers. Man, spread for your town like virus. Miley Cyrus. 50s, 20s and 10s. Trying to make amends, but I swear I hate fivers. Why is man talking about trap?
So very subtle there. You can kind of hear it at the back end. You know, it's just like, just slightly more pushed out. You know, not noticeable. I'm not using a spreader or anything on it. I'm not interested in doing anything like that. And then it just creates, you know, barely noticeable, but a very, very small, you know, more narrowing when the verse comes in and creates like as I said, you know, a much more direct feeling in the verse. I'm gonna push out the delay that we put on it as well.
Man, do it in sliders. Put him on the screen like flyers. I'm out here, I still need drivers. Man, spread for your town like virus.
And I'm going to add a bit more reverb as well, because the hook can be a bit more wet, it can be a bit more space. We're just trying to create a more blanketed feel for the hook, but maintaining the control and the punch.
Man, do it in sliders. Put him on the screen like flyers. I'm out here, I still need drivers. Man, spread for your town like virus. Miley Cyrus. 50s, 20s and 10s. Trying to make amends, but I swear I hate fivers. Why is man talking about trap? You made your money off music. Let's get straight to the...
Okay, yeah, I'm liking the width and then the narrowing. So I feel like we've nailed that and it's sounding good. And we're gonna add in this delay chop. So this is like a line that kind of like repeats itself after. I'm gonna go with the same channel strip we've been using this whole time as my basis, and I'm gonna adapt it as we go along.
I know killers and gliders. Man, do it in sliders.
Cool, so it's like a stab. It's using as stab. I'm not gonna have as much bottom end in this. I just kind of want it to reinforce it subtly. But then what I'm gonna add is I'm gonna add this delay that we put on the. No, that's not the delay. Where is the delay here? The main one. Yeah. So I'm gonna add in our ad lib delay, and I'm gonna really ramp it up, and I'm gonna let it carry through to each stab.
I know killers and gliders, man, do it in sliders. Put him on the screen like flyers.
Okay, so no, I don't like the fact that it's being spread. I want it to sound even more direct, and I want it to be more obvious. So I'm gonna give it a new delay, and I'm not gonna spread this one, but I'm gonna keep it 1/4 because I like the pattern. Keep the feedback quite high. Cut out the high. Cut out the bottom. I like this low fi effect that it adds to it as well, and I'm gonna ramp that right up. I'm gonna see how this sounds.
I know killers and gliders, man, do it in sliders. Put him on the screen like flyers. I'm out here, I still need drivers. Man, spread through your town like virus. Miley Cyrus, 50s, 20s and 10s, trying to make amends, but I swear I hate fivers. Wise man talking about trap.
Okay, nice.
You made your...
So that's just kind of cutting through their fivers on like the main punchlines and emphasizing the back end of it as well. You know, separating it even more so from the verses, because, you know, Clue's very confident in his delivery, so he doesn't feel it necessary to add shitloads of stabs and ad-libs and stuff like that. He very much leaves it to, this is my vocal and these are the ad-libs, so we're kind of like playing that to our strengths. It's quite an American way of doing it, but it's quite unusual also for grime artists to kind of like follow that technique, but more so recently. But like, you know, traditional grime, they would always put loads of stabs and ad-libs and stuff like that to try and reinforce it. But, you know, so it means that we've really got to like make the vocal sound the best it can, because it's on its own. It's not being reinforced by anything. So there we've got the hook. This here is the back vocal. So he's just separated these vocals. So the best way to attack this is to, again, copy and paste and use the exact same channel strip. We're going to listen to it and make sure that it works.
Virus, Miley Cyrus, 50s, 20s and 10s, trying to make amends, but I swear I hate fivers. I got the moves, I'm impressive. She gets the message. I'm the drug she possesses. She said she like it aggressive. Attention, attention. I'm used to unzipping these dresses. We toast to successes. I'm forgetting the four-door coupe, seen too much loot. I don't brag, but my CV's boasting. My thing's upset, said I part her. She don't even know that a man's thing's roasting. See,
that there sounded a little bit messy, but I'm not sure if there's much we can do there, because that's like the style and the delivery
we toast to successes. I'm forgetting the four-door coupe, seen too much loot. I don't brag, but my CV's boasting. My thing's upset, said I part. Attention, attention. I'm used to unzipping these dresses. We toast to successes. I'm forgetting the four-door coupe, seen too much loot. I don't brag, but my CV's boasting. My thing's upset, said I part her. She don't even know that a man's thing's roasting. See, money come first, then good head. I ain't got time to be sat here coaching. Why is my man think that we're cool like that? Like a man won't rise up and smoke him. See, Dangles thinks man's joking. If you drip too hard, man's floating. My young G's nickname Facebook, cause it's on site and he don't stop poking. If I catch that case with a
Okay, cool. So it sounds good to me. For this back bit here, which kind of seems like he's like acting as like a bridge, he's added stabs because I think he wants it to obviously sound different to the rest of the verse. So again, we're just going to use the same channel strip we've been using on these vocals as our foundation. I'm going to have a look at them. They've already been panned left and right. I would have probably done that myself. If there's a double of a stab, you know, use the opportunity to create width and like make the sound different. So if there's doubles of stabs, like my go-to is to pan them. Let's have a listen here.
I got the moves, I'm impressive. She gets the message. I'm the drug she possesses. She said she like it aggressive.
Okay, cool. So they're very like basic stabs. They're not really doing too much. I think they're just kind of to enhance this like lower bit of the vocal. So I'm going to push up the reverb a little bit, create a little bit more space in the back end. I've pushed them right down because personally, I'm not a big fan of like really audible stabs and harmonies. I think like obviously the main take should be the front end of it and should be the thing that's heard the most. And then I'm going to use a little bit more delay as well. Not that delay, this delay. push that one down a little bit. See how
I got the moves, I'm impressive. She gets the message. I'm the drug she possesses. She said she like it aggressive. Attention, attention. I'm used to unzipping these dresses. We toast the successes. I'm forgetting a four-door coupe, seen too much loot.
Yeah, nice. So now even with those stems added, the blend sounds nicer between those two vocals, because that you can hear a noticeable difference between the style of the vocals. Very subtle, but you can hear it. So now what's left is this intro. Let's have a listen to what this intro sounds like.
I know killers and gliders. Put him on the screen like...
Okay, cool. So it's basically a chopped up version of the hook. So we're going to use the hook for this. And then this delay is the same. So we're going to use the delay as well. And we're going to see what this sounds like just off the top. We might change it a bit later. This is a problem that you'll get. Things start to get a little bit laggy when at the back end of the project. I'll show you a technique on how to kind of cope with this in a second.
I know killers and gliders. Put him on the screen like flyers. Bread for your town like virus. 50s, 20s and 10. I know killers and gliders.
So, okay, with this, I'm not sure what I did in the original. Maybe you guys can tell me. But my ear here, I want to kind of like... I want to kind of make it look a little bit... make it look and seem a little bit different. So, I'm going to... so I'm going to take out the low end of this. Probably up to like maybe 400. I'm going to lower it down a little bit. And I'm going to add quite a bit more reverb, because I want it to sound different and a bit spacey, and like use it more as an intro and separate from the rest of the track, so then when the first chorus hits, it hits a lot harder. So we're just going to play this. Right, okay, cool. So we're going to keep getting these system uploads.
Killers and gliders.
Okay, yeah, now that sounds nice.
Put them on the screen like flyers. Bread for your town like virus. 50s, 20s and 10.
And then when it comes in,
I know killers and gliders.
Big.
Man, do it in sliders.
Powerful.
Put him on the screen like flyers. I'm out here, I still need drivers. Man, spread for your town like virus. Miley Cyrus. 50s, 20s and 10s. Trying to make amends, but I swear I hate fivers. Why is man talking about trap? You made your money off music. Let's get straight to the facts. Don't confuse it. Man talk streets then rap. Looking real stupid. How come you never had man's back? Making excuses. I got mine off muscle and packs. The gang been doing up laps. I never gave man a round of applause, but I gave man pats on their back. Them man just heavy with chat. I am not man's age, I'm a dad's. I can't wait till I get man back. I used to put man at you in cabs. Man did voluntary and try act bad.
Cool, man. This is sounding great. So, I mean, at this point in the song, again, I was thinking about this when I finished the last stream. I should have really mentioned it. I'd already been through and trimmed up a lot of the vocals, but you should always go through, and if there's like anything that like really stands out, like breathy, unfortunately this song doesn't really have that, because again it was like trimmed and polished beforehand. But maybe in the next video we'll go a bit more in depth on this, and I'll find a song that has some kind of like faults to it, and I'll show you how to fix those faults, like breaths and like pops and clicks and stuff like that. But then here, so at this point in the song, once I've kind of mixed it, what I'll be looking for is to see about that glitter, if I can add any more of that glitter that I was talking about at the beginning of the stream. So and here is just kind of like creative preference. It's not really mixing. This is kind of like more getting into the realm of production. But like I heard something here, so if I play the song.
But I gave man pats on their back. Them man just heavy with chat. I am not man's age, I'm a dad's. I can't wait till I get man back. I used to put man at you in cabs. Man did voluntary and try act bad.
So there, like where it's kind of like a big ending, I might look to do something here to like spice up the instrumental.
Cabs, man did voluntary and try act bad. Man, that gets man mad.
So I might go and trim this. Yeah. so right here I can see, and this is another reason why you should always get your tempo in, because it makes doing these kind of jobs so much easier and so much quicker. So right now I can see here 37 is like at the end of the bar, and I'm gonna, okay, cool. So I'm gonna cut here, and I'm also gonna cut right here. And I'm gonna listen to this drop.
Get man back. I used to put man at you in cabs. Man did voluntary but try act bad.
Okay, cool. I like that. But I want to enhance it a little bit more, and I want to make a little bit more of a statement out of it. So I'm going to open these up. I can't do it when they're folded. Oh, didn't mean to do that. And I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to zoom in a bit so I can see everything a bit more clearly. Make it a little bit wider as well. Right, so I know everything's still highlighted here, so it's fine. I can still do what I need to do. I'm going to come more, and I'm going to go fade out, and I'm going to change this to slow. Right, that's really important. And then I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to get my fade tool. Now, when I pull this, instead of it fading, it's going to slow the record down, and it's going to create like a turntable effect. Now, how long I do this is dependent on, you know, stylistics. But let's have a listen and see what this sounds like.
Man's age, I'm a dad's. I can't wait till I get man back. I used to put man at you in cabs. Man did voluntary but try act bad.
So it's quite subtle. I might actually, I might even make that a little bit more pronounced. Bring it further back. Maybe there. See what this sounds like.
I am not man's age, I'm a dad's. I can't wait till I get man back. I used to put man at you in cabs. Man did voluntary but try act bad.
Yeah.
Man, that gets man mad. I was on demon
nice.
timing.
So things like that, you know, is something that the artist hasn't yet heard. The producer's not heard it, and you know, it feels natural. You don't want to force anything. Like if you don't hear anything in the song that you could do like things like that with, then just, you know, don't do it. Don't force it, because it's, you know, you're gonna end up more than likely like annoying the producer or annoying the artist by trying to add things like that. But I've heard it, and I've got, you know what, I think that would sound really cool. I'm willing to take the risk for them to love it and say sick, right? And then, you know, maybe they turn around and say, oh, actually, can you take that out? Fine, my ego's not hurt, it's cool, I thought I'd try it. Do you know what I mean? And it's a really simple technique. It's a few cuts and then just a little fade, and then suddenly you've got like a real punch in that vocal, and it separates the verse a little bit.
Back. I used to put man at you in cabs. Man did voluntary but try act bad. Man, that gets man mad. I was on demon time in detention. Wicked and sad. 100.
Now you can like enhance this and do fucking shitloads of cuts all over the place, you know, chops and stuff like this. But you know, in my experience, it's probably better to be a little bit more sparing with what you do, and it ends up standing out. The things that you do makes they stand out a lot more than, you know, if you were to fucking add shitloads all over the place. It's like a nice little special thing. And just for the sake of the video as well, what I'm going to show you another technique that we might do when editing these styles of tracks. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna try and find a line that I can do this on.
Try act bad. Man, that gets man mad. I was on demon time in detention. Wicked and sad. 100K.
Okay, cool. So now what I'll do is I'm gonna go Command D, duplicate this line, so I've got an empty version of this track, and I'm gonna use that, and then we're gonna do what we call stutters. Now, if you've ever listened to any kind of like drill or grime or UK hip hop or even American hip hop, this is a technique that's used quite a lot. So, and what we do to kind of like emulate this, now this might not sound good, it might work, it might not, but we're going to try it anyway. This is the technique. We get like the first half of the word like this, cut it. Again, having the BPM set now is going to make this a lot easier. I'm going to click it, I'm going to press Alt. So now I'm going to be able to duplicate this wherever I like. I'm going to pull it down here, and I'm going to push it, and we've got our grid set to smart, so it's going to like automatically try and keep it in time. So you can see there where it's like resisting a little bit when I'm moving my cursor. That's because that's telling me that that's a point where, you know, it's in time and we can keep it there. So I'm going to let go, I'm going to leave that there, and then I'm going to pull, and I'm going to find the next space along so it stays in time. So now that is in rhythm and in time, and we're going to pull this back and we're going to have a listen to how it sounds. Cool, sounding good, but it's a little bit dry and it sounds exactly the same. So what I want to do is, I don't want to take away from the original Man That Gets Me Mad. So I'm going to pull it down a little bit. I'm going to take out a little bit of the low end. I'm going to treat it more like a ad-lib or a stab. I'm going to raise the reverb up. I'm going to raise the delay. So it's just a little bit more spacing, a little bit more tucked in the back, but it still very much stands out.
I can't wait till I get man back. I used to put man like you in cabs. Man did voluntary but try act bad. Man that gets man mad. I was on demon time in the tent.
It's a nice little skippy point there. So again, just to recap, because obviously we had to freeze. What we've done, we've zoomed in, and because of the fact that we got the BPM spot on, we've cut the word here halfway through, and we've duplicated it in time over on a different track. And then what we did was we lowered the volume, added a little bit of reverb and a little bit of delay, and took out a little bit of the bass, and it's created that kind of style.
I used to put man like you in cabs. Man did voluntary but try act bad. Man that gets man mad. I was on demon time in detention.
Now I would then go through this whole track and you know, try to emulate anything and add anything that I can, being very sparing at the same time, not trying to do too much with it, and acting that on. But I hope that kind of gives you an idea on how to do things. In other videos, we'll go more in depth into like other techniques that I'll do, like other effects that we can add, filtering, things like that, other types of stutters, reverse reverbs, which I know a few people are interested in learning. But that's like, you know, this is kind of like the start, beginning basics, and it's something really effective. Now, just to like end the song, end the video here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you know, well, I'll talk you through about what I will do then to make sure that this is right. So we'll play the track through, and just what we're going to do is we're going to watch this master output and make sure it's not peaking, make sure it's a healthy volume throughout the whole track. And if we're happy with it, like me personally, I'm looking for minus 3 dB minimum. Yeah, if we're happy with that, then, you know, we're good to bounce and bring down to master.
Man, do it in sliders.
So straight away it's pushing a little bit too hot, so I'm going to grab all of these and I'm going to pull them down just a touch.
Here I still need drivers. Man, spread through your town like virus. Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, that's happy. That's a happy fader there.
Wise man talk about trap. You made your money off music. Let's get straight to the facts. Don't confuse it. Man talk streets then rap. Looking real stupid. How come you never had man's back? Making excuses. I got mine off muscle and packs. The gang been doing up laps. I never gave man a round of applause, but I gave man pats on their back. Them man just heavy with chat. I am not man's age, I'm a dad's. I can't wait till I get man back. I used to put man like you in cabs. Man did voluntary but try act bad. Man that gets man mad. I was on demon time in detention.
The whole way through the track will be great.
100k from the what did I mention? Bigger and bad. Free up the G's in the block doing sentence. Man get a man grab. I know killers and gliders. Man, do it in sliders. Put him on the screen like flyers. I'm out here, I still need drivers. Man, spread through your town like virus. Miley Cyrus. 50s, 20s, and 10s. Trying to make amends, but I swear I hate fivers. I got the moves, I'm impressive. She gets the message. I'm the drug she possesses. She said she like it aggressive. Attention, attention. I'm used to unzipping these dresses. We toast to successes. I'm forgetting the four-door coupe, seen too much loot. I don't brag, but my CV's boasting. My thing's upset, said I part her. She don't even know that a man's thing's roasting. See, money come first, then good head. I ain't got time to be sat here coaching. Why is my man think that we're cool like that? Like a man won't rise up and smoke him. See, Dangles thinks man's joking. If you drip too hard, man's floating. My young G's nickname Facebook, cause it's on site and he don't stop poking. If I catch that case with a cold D, I don't wanna see or hear man soaking. I did it in jail like I did it in O, like I did it out here in the open. I know killers and gliders. Man, do it in sliders. Put him on the screen like flyers. I'm out here, I still need drivers. Man, spread through your town like virus.
Miley Cyrus.
50s, 20s, and 10s. Trying to make amends, but I swear I hate fivers.
Yeah, so like as you can see, the whole song's blending together. It was a fairly easy mix to start with. We kept everything organized. We stepped through the process, and then just at the back end there, we added a little bit of spice. Bing bang bosh, and the mix is done. But I hope you've learned a lot, and tips and tricks and whatever. Leave any kind of like messages in the comments, any questions. Subscribe, follow if you haven't. I hope you've enjoyed the video. On Thursday, I hope to have a much better video and a bit more longer and a new song, so we can really get into depth and we won't have all these technical issues that we've had in this video. But yeah, thank you very much for logging in and watching with me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Safe, guys. See you later.